My name is Bernd Seidenthal. I'm the product manager for our induction heaters, Shertherm, manufactured in the Netherlands. And I have our two portable models, the 5X and the 10X. This heats up anything up to 55 pounds. This heats up anything up to 110 pounds. Both can come in standalone how they are, or in a carry, so they're going to be traveling, or you're going to be taking it from location to location. One unique feature of the Shertherm is the fact that it uses two separate temperature probes. So when you have a bearing, usually you put the temperature probe on the ID. When that heats, it expands. But even with induction heaters, the ID will expand a lot quicker than the OD. So what will happen is if it heats up too fast, then you can crush the balls. And that can create a problem during installation. You limit the life of the bearing as it is. So if you monitor the temperature between the ID and the OD, you can much safer get the bearing to temperature without the issue of crushing the ball bearings. For example, one of the cute things that we have as far as the 10X, it has a little sled. So if you have larger pieces, it doesn't just fly off the side. It doesn't matter if it's hung or if it's placed down. Take your crossbar. There's different size crossbars available. It doesn't matter which probe goes where. The system will figure out the difference between the two. Goes on the OD, one goes on the ID. So on the screen, you will see you have multiple ways of monitoring the temperatures. So you can use two, or you can use time. So the good thing about time is if you're in an industrial environment where you're doing multiple pieces one after the other, and you know that it takes X amount of time between the temperature and the temperature you're trying to reach, you can use time. So the best way to do that is selecting the two temperature. You're going to select the temperature that you're trying to heat to. You can convert to Celsius without a problem. Once I select the temperature I'm going to, then based on the manufacturing, what's the maximum temperature difference between OD and ID? That's, in this case, I selected 50. So I press start. So it goes through a delay. It allows you a chance to step back if you have a pacemaker. So it will start heating, and it monitors the OD as well as the ID. And once the separation between the two reaches that 50, it will stop, wait for it to catch up, wait for the OD to catch up to the ID, and then continue to heat. Obviously, when you use this method, it takes a little longer, but it's a safer bet that you will not damage the bearing in the process of doing the heating cycle. Once you reach the desired temperature, there's two methods that can be used. One is a temperature hold mode. So let's say you set 250 degrees. It'll be, once it reaches 250, it stops. When it drops a couple of degrees, it will heat up again. So it's always going to reach the temperature you set, in this case 250. When you are done and you need the bearing at this point, all you need to do is hit stop. Once you hit stop, it will automatically demagnetize the bearing. So you're putting an electric current through that bearing. So what it's doing is making the bearing magnetic. It's magnetizing the bearing. So the system will reverse the cycle and demagnetizes the bearing. So the other way that you can do is, if you're waiting for it, you can have it shut off automatically. So that means it reaches the temperature, it automatically shuts off and automatically demagnetizes and gives you an audible signal that it's done. So the two methods, temperature hold mode and shut off and demagnetize when it reaches the temperature that you've set. All right, so we're almost at the end. It automatically says demagnetizing, please wait. And it audibly lets you know that it's done. So I set it up, instead of a temperature hold, I set it up so that it shuts off and audibly lets me know. So there's what we went. We went to 195, 50 degree max. I can look at my graph, and there's my graph. When we reached 195, exactly where we needed to be, and it never breached the 50 degree difference between the two. At this point, Very simply, I remove the crossbar, and if I need to reach for the bearing, obviously safety first, we include gloves that can be used in order to reach for the bearing and then do the installation that you want. So it's not just for bearings, but just about anything you heat, even gears. With fail-safe features that Shertherm has is, let's say that you put the bearing on, you press start, but you forgot to put the temperature probes onto the bearing. You would think, oh my God, it's going to heat up and this thing is going to turn bright red. Well, actually, if the system doesn't record at least a 2-degree increase over a period of time, which you set, it automatically assumes you forgot to put the temperature probes, or it could also assume you're heating a bearing that's way too big for the capacity of your induction heater, so it saves itself and it gives you an error message, an E55, which says we did not recognize the temperature increase over that period of time, so the unit shuts itself off. So there's some information here of if you have a pacemaker. So the one thing, if you have a pacemaker, obviously, is you don't want to be leaning over it because it's going to create an issue. But if you do have a pacemaker and you have a distance and you feel more comfortable with a bigger distance, that delay allows you to step back. Another thing that the Shertherm has, it has a capability of showing you a graph of where temperature probe 1 and what temperature probe 2 are. You have the capability, there is a USB drive over here that you can download the information. Excel spreadsheet graph comes standard with the unit, so you can download it. Now you can print a report so the customer knows we started at this temperature, we went exactly to this temperature, so I didn't overheat it, and it kept the graph. And on the graph you see the difference, how it is increasing in temperature, and that 50 degree difference between OD and ID was never breached. So this is a induction heating procedure that we created. It's nondescript, so it doesn't matter which induction heater you use. So there is a certain procedure that should be in place that every department that uses induction heaters should have. It's laminated, so even with grease, you won't have any issues. And on the back part, we actually have bearing storage. So a lot of times bearings can be damaged in storage. So we want to save our bearings, not only in storage, but when we use our induction heaters. Call Ludeca, ask for one of these, and we'll be more than happy to send it to you.